There are various ways to publish imagery to make it available to the wider organization. One way is to create a tiled cache layer. Another way is to publish it as an image service. An image service provides access to the raster data through a web service and allows for analytical processing of the data through that web service. When dealing with multispectral imagery, this type of layer is especially useful. You can publish an image service from ArcGIS Pro by creating a mosaic dataset and publish it to ArcGIS Enterprise. In ArcGIS Enterprise, it is also possible to publish an image service straight from the portal. Let me show you how that's done. In the portal on the Content tab, you can create a new imagery layer. And this will start a wizard. And with just a few simple steps, you can publish your image service. First, you select what type of service you want to publish. In this case, we create a mosaic dataset that contains all of our images. But if you have a folder with images, you can publish them as separate layers as well. Next, you can specify the product. This will use the appropriate settings, like number of bands, or you can specify a custom setup. In this case, we have images with 4 bands, the 4th being near infrared. So we'll add the extra band, which is set to near infrared. In the next step, we'll select our images. It can be images we have on our computer. They will then be uploaded to the server. The images can also be on a folder registered with ArcGIS Enterprise or in a cloud storage, like an Amazon S3 bucket or Azure Blob Storage. The images will then be referenced so they remain in their original location. And in the final step, we'll give it some item details and start creating the service. Once the service is created, we can start using it across the platform. We can add it to mobile apps or web apps, or use it in ArcGIS Pro, like I've done here. And here we're looking at the published image service. And as I mentioned, this image service has a near-infrared band that we can use to visualize the image. And what this does is highlight vegetation in red. And if we compare the before and after image, we can clearly see the difference in vegetation because of the fire. And we can already get an idea of the estimated burn area. Another image service that is available in the Living Atlas is Sentinel Imagery. And Sentinel are 2 satellites that visit New Zealand every 5 days. And it has 13 different bands that we can use for analysis. And also here we can clearly see the burn scars after the fire. But we can use the near-infrared and the shortwave infrared bands to visualize the burn index. So we can create a burn index from before and after the fire and look at the differences. We can also use these 2 images to calculate a burn index difference. And this will give us a better understanding of the severity of the burns. And here in red it shows the highly burned areas, where green and yellow show the unaffected areas. And there is a standard classification for visualizing the burn index difference. And we can use that classification to visualize our imagery in the different burn severities. And red and orange are showing the high and moderate severity, where yellow and green show the low to unimpacted areas. And to get a better understanding of the terrain that the fires took place in, we can open a 3D scene viewer. And here we can add the same layer and look at the data in 3D, draped over the terrain. And I can now share this layer as an imagery layer or a tiled cache service with the organization. But I can also create a feature layer from the raster. And in this case, I'm only interested in the high and medium severities. So I can set a definition query showing only those. And now I can share this as a web layer to my organization so it can be used for ground truthing or for further analysis in the office.